Welcome back to our Gen podcast. As always, your host, I'm Luna.
I'm Chooch.
And we're coming back at you after a long break.
Long hiatus.
Yep. We had some unplanned vacation. And you know what the disaster is? Hurricane Dorian.
Oh,
Just blew our roofs right off.
dude, did you see the devastation?
Dude, there was like a lot of shit in my yard. And
It came right to you guys in Fort Pierce, huh?
fuck no, they ain't do nothing. Everybody was all scared though, putting their shutters up. And
Bro, I had to evacuate for work, for class as well. So,
fuck that. Nah, I didn't do nothing to nobody. But I was actually seen, I think it was yesterday morning, that's actually fucking up the Carolinas pretty bad again. Well, not again, but like last year, what was it, Hurricane?
it wasn't Irma? Maria,
No, Irma
some
hit-
shit like that?
I think Maria hit.
Puerto Rico.
One of them hit Puerto
Oh,
Rico.
it was
and
Hurricane
killed
Florence.
Puerto-
Hurricane Florence.
Florence.
Hurricane Florence fucked up the Carolinas pretty bad. And from the looks of it, it's kind of fucking them up again. And Dorian fucked up Bahamas. Like,
Yeah.
I almost say it with a smirk on my face just because it's like almost like ridiculous to think about. But I don't find it funny. It's just like
It's a little funny. It's
I
like
just can't
ironic.
fit it into my head. Like, how the fuck does? Because in reality, all a hurricane is moving rain that has stronger winds or whatever the fuck. But how does wind and how does just something destroy? You know, it's like it just destroyed the fucking Bahamas. And like, I guess just sides to the argument because you can be like, oh, how come they didn't just evacuate? They were told to evacuate. But there's only, I mean, in reality, obviously, Bahamas, you can go there to travel or whatever, but, the reality of it is, and same thing, people come to Florida to travel as tourists. The reality of it is a lot of people in Bahamas maybe didn't have the money to fucking just hop on a plane in one day and just fucking haul ass, you know what I'm saying? And as crazy as it might sound, the people that probably could evacuate did, and the people that just financially couldn't do it, because, I think people have pretty big families, or, even if it's someone who lives by themselves, they're only bringing in enough money maybe a week to even live by themselves. That's why they don't have families. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, most people are probably check to check anyways, and I also heard, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I heard that it was like a smaller island. It wasn't like one of the main islands.
hey,
Yeah,
there's probably,
so
what was it, like Freeport or
I'm not
or
100%
Nassau or
sure.
whatever the fuck.
I'm not 100% sure what area got like basically wrecked.
And also,
the
what
most.
fucked them too, because the storm was supposed to be over them for 36 hours anyway, and then whenever it just stopped, it was on it for like another 15 or 16 hours. Or something.
It was on it for like
It was-
like 2
It was like
days.
2 days.
Yeah, it was 48 hours of just fucking rain and fucking wind, and like for a storm that's a category 5 to drop down to a category 3 because it just fucking shit up is like fucked up, and like it hit us at category 2, I think, right? And then now it's back up to a 4 or a 3 again, I think. And then in the morning when I was watching before school, I think they was already down to a 1, but it's because it's just fucking North Carolina pretty bad.
But what we got though still wasn't even like we got like the main outskirts. At least in Orlando, we got like tropical storm winds.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to work during it, basically during what we were gonna get hit the hardest, and it was.
Well,
really
the thing is
windy.
like I was telling my parents, I was like, in reality, meteorologists, they don't really know exactly. They kind of just, it's math that they do. They say winds are going this much. It's trajectories that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, trajectories aren't pinpoint and never are going to be, never will be. You know what I'm saying? And as simple as it is they were saying that we were going to get hit on, what was it, like Sunday night, Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying 100% that it's going to curve at this time, blah, 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 blah. And then, never mind, it's staying still. You guys, they don't fucking know what the fuck it's going to do. They have an idea what it might, and that's what they feed to the fucking public. And if you bite on the damn bait, cool. If you don't, they just throw shit to the wall, and if it sticks, it sticks. They don't fucking know what the fuck it's gonna do, or you know what I'm saying? And it's.
And that's also why when you see like the paths, like there's so many different
And
ones.
spaghettis, and it's like one even had it going through Florida like 3 to 4 times, or like. I don't know, it's just stupid. And a lot of shit pisses me off. Like I seen on Twitter, like people think that the government makes hurricanes.
People, I'm pretty big into conspiracy theories.
That's
but,
just
like,
a reach and a half.
People literally think.
How do you make water
I mean,
fall from the sky and travel?
I don't know what like the government has in technology, but that doesn't sound realistic.
It's very simple the way it works. It's warm waters out for Africa, right? And winds.
The winds from Africa.
It's winds, and they meet the warm waters, and it's just kind of just.
Sorry, bro.
It's that simple. It's not something to hurt. If the fucking government made these things, believe me, every single year there'd be catastrophic hurricanes hitting at least 3 or 4 major cities or major states. Because why? I'm sure the government, they lose a lot of money during hurricanes because they have to feed companies to pick the shit up. But if the government's goal is really to just fuck people over how everybody thinks it is, you don't think there'd be 5 literally deadly hurricanes every single year hitting major cities where they can just wipe out as much people as possible?
Yeah,
I mean, and insurance is obviously. I think that if the government made hurricanes, it'd be a stupid amount of hurricanes every single year. It'd be a stupid amount of damage every single year. It'd be something that the news wouldn't even give you a heads up. The news would be on 2 hours before, like, hey, you better run if you can. That's what it'd be. If the government was making them, they wouldn't give you 3 weeks to know something's coming. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the Weather Channel wouldn't exist. Put it that way. If the government was making them shit, like. It's a fucking hurricane. It's been happening since fucking 1930s. It's been happening as long as time's fucking existed.
What this is kind of reminding me of, just this discussion, is you remember when in Hawaii they had that evacuation alert from the volcano?
Yeah.
Oh, and nobody left?
No,
It was an
it was a
accident.
false alarm,
Yeah.
and everybody was going crazy.
And the
People were
phone was
freaking out. They
saying,
thought
"This
they were
is
gonna
not
die. Yeah, they thought they were gonna die.
It was an accident?
Yeah.
No way.
It was a false alarm. That shit was hilarious.
Fuck.
But it was basically just like, yeah, this volcano is erupting. Like, evacuate now.
The government took their timing off. The government wanted that volcano to just got the timing
They
off.
probably imagine
It was probably like complete chaos for that amount of time until they said this is just a drill. There's probably people fucking running around killing people. Like, you can only imagine. You think everybody's gonna die?
Why not do what you can?
Exactly. Why not go and just whatever?
Right. It's like the
gonna
purge,
end
basically.
anyway.
Imagine it wasn't a false alarm, but they just wanted to see like what would happen.
that.
Yeah, how it would react.
It's like
Imagine now this is a drill and then this is
Like,
not a drill.
alright, we got them.
We got one and die now.
Like, we know how.
How do they read
around.
volcanoes though? Can they read that actually?
They can read like
Whenever it's ashing, right, it's getting closer and closer to.
There's different things, I think. Like, I'm sure there's probably vibrations in the ground too,
Yeah,
right?
like-
Like little earthquakes, kind of.
Like,
They could probably just tell when it's like.
we're not scientists either. so
There's
stuff behind it.
I've
Yeah.
read about this, but I'm assuming they study when it's like sensitive to like earthquakes or whatever, so they can say like there's a chance it'll blow.
They give you a
Right.
window, basically.
Yeah, it's like be ready because it's like we don't know when, but if something messes with it, it might erupt. I
It's
think
kind of
that's
like that movie. I don't know if you've seen it on Netflix when it was gonna be like a avalanche or something like that, and they're in Europe and it was like no, I didn't see it. But it was a
You know
big
what
ass
it's called?
flood. I wish I did. I wish I knew.
Wait. It's a family, right? It's a family?
Yeah.
And a tsunami comes.
Yeah, the tsunami
It's a
comes
tsunami.
and they go and they read and they check it because they have like these things and
Right, it's a
and it
tsunami.
measures that.
I know
too.
exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of the movie. It's a family, and I think like most of the family fucking died or something like that. But I know it's just they're on a vacation somewhere on an island, and the tsunami comes and like wipes them out, like the whole fucking island, and they had like no idea it was gonna fucking come or something like that. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, I don't think they were on vacation, but yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's I'm just making it up.
Yeah, but it's the same movie. Yeah, that shit was crazy. But they can read activities based off of.
Certain behaviors or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's mainly vibrations. but
Yeah,
I'm not
it's just
100%
like
sure.
earthquakes and stuff.
Mhm.
And because the plates are always moving, so it's a matter of when they like rub against
The
each
right
other
way.
to create.
Once one of them was
such
kind of
things.
in the mood, and the other one's like, "Fuck, I'm in the mood too."
Yeah.
This guy, the plates rubbing on each other. Yo, so how was vacation?
It wasn't the 10. I thought the 10 days was gonna feel like 10 days.
It's probably perfect. I feel like.
And I did. Put it this way: if I would have known that that was gonna happen, I would have liked it at least 2 weeks.
Mhm.
But since it kind of came out of the blue, like 2 days in advance, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. I feel like the 10 days was just about perfect. I didn't feel like they went by too fast. I didn't feel like they went by too slow. I didn't feel like I was like, oh my god, I want to leave already. But I think whenever our last day came, I was like, I'm ready to go home. Like, I'm ready to kind of just get back to my normal routine again. I'm kind of, it was nice to get away from my normal routine.
Mhm.
But as weird as it might sound, I also wanted to just get back to it. And obviously school starting and things like that. I was actually looking forward to school, which is the weirdest sentence I've ever said in my life because I fucking hated high school. High school was fun, but I hated the idea of school.
Mhm.
I hated middle school, I hated elementary school, all of that. But I was actually looking forward to it and stuff. And it was good. The first night was Obviously, you get there at night and shit. So the first night you just have dinner, go to sleep, and then the first official night we were out there, it was there wasn't too much people there anymore. You can kind of just do whatever you wanted to do, and it was nice.
Like a lot more laid back there.
A lot more laid back. Just you could literally do what you wanted, and it wasn't so packed where you almost had to like how sometimes there's like lines to get food and
yeah.
And if you were hungry at 11 o'clock and you wanted to go home, you went and ordered your damn food, and they'd have it to you in 5 minutes, if that. And you could just go back.
So perfect.
It was perfect. And most of them, like the first night, I went out. It was we all three of us went out, and then like it was like 10 something, and Andrea wanted to go home, so her and I went home, and then I stayed out till like another hour or something like that, maybe not even. And then Alex was out there, so he just gave me a ride home. It was nice. It was something. It was something that it felt good to break, your routine. But
it was a little bit of a break.
But once it was time to come back, and it was nothing like, damn, I don't want to go back or nothing like that. It was nice. It was like seeing people that I hadn't seen in
For real?
years, and talk to people that I hadn't talked to in years. And,
Yeah.
But met a couple new people that stay over there and shit like that.
Good word.
Met a young kid who stays over there. We actually made him a Snapchat, and he hits us up every now and then when he has like Wi-Fi or whatever the fuck. But yeah, it was nice. But just now, obviously, first time I'm a fucking student now. It's crazy that that sounds, but it doesn't really feel like school since it's a trade basically. So the same vibe I'd get, like touching back on the episode we dropped. I don't even know when, but we touched like that. We were like at a warehouse, and like that's pretty much what it was. Like the same vibe I get getting to school and getting my tool bag, getting my helmet, getting pretty much getting the same vibe. Getting to where you kind of know what you're gonna do or whatever, and you probably sit in the class for like 3 to 2 hours, maybe just 2, and then the rest of the time it's just hands on. And
so you're better off like that, honestly. Than actually, I listened to an album, IDK.
Is he real?
Yeah, did you hear it?
We heard a little beats and pieces of it. He was like kind of like groaning and moaning and trying to sing.
It was different for sure. I thought it flowed very well, like each song.
I didn't even bother listening to all of the songs, like all the way through.
Oh, word?
I listened to like half of the songs halfway through.
It's really hard for artists, especially if you're not a fan, because if you're a fan of an artist, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna sit through the project, even if you don't think it's the strongest. But I feel like whenever you're listening to an artist you don't consider yourself a fan of, you can give up on an album in the first 3 or 2 songs. Like you really can.
Oh, for sure.
If they don't catch, it's like whenever whenever you're learning how to write essays and what
a hook.
Yeah, your hook, your grabber has to be. Yeah. They want to keep reading. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the mentality rappers that don't have a huge fan base need to have.
Yeah, I thought the first song was pretty good, because the very first track was like a little intro and he was kind of talking, but it was because IDK raps like he really raps.
He's talented.
Right? And he's really good, but this album wasn't necessarily like his best off of what he could do. It was
like he didn't bring his talent to.
It was a lot more creative. So I thought it was kind of dope though. Like just like I said, every single song flowed very well. But the main thing was like my main criticism was all the features which weren't listed. They all did better than him. I don't really like Chance the Rapper.
Oh,
like
he
that.
didn't credit features?
No.
No, I didn't see any on the track list.
Yeah.
That's why I gave up too.
JID had literally like 15 seconds on one song, and it was like the best verse. Push. He did pretty good.
I didn't even know he had those features.
They
were on the same song.
The thing on Twitter is like if you have braids, you're either an 80-year-old or your name is Pusha T or something like that.
If you have what?
If you have braids, you're either a crackhead, an 80-year-old, or your name is Pusha T.
For real. But yeah, it was straight. And the concept of the album too was a lot of like questioning God and stuff like that. But the way he ended it, well, I don't know. He just ended it pretty good.
Today being filming September 6th, have you listened to Post Malone's album dropped today?
I listened to about half of it, and then on my way down here, I was on the phone. So
I went to the barber shop and they were playing it, but I almost didn't want to pay too much attention to it because especially when I'm listening to an album for the very first time, I want to listen to it A, in order, and B, with my headphones in so I can really hear the music, pick if I like a little punchline, like clever little punchline, I like to pick certain things out of works, pieces of work whenever I hear them for the first time and shit like that. So I didn't want to put too much attention to it, but like I heard like whenever the baby went on his feature, I heard him. I heard a little bit of it was some girl. I think is Halsey.
Halsey, yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
She did really good.
Heard a little bit of her. I tried it once, and I tried not to listen to it too much because I wanted to listen to it on my own time and really critique it, if that makes sense.
I think he's also one of those artists where you kind of want to, at least in my opinion, how I want to, because I'm probably going to, I listened to probably 5 songs. I'm probably going to start from the top again because I feel like he's one of those artists where just because of how stoney was, like, I want to listen to that all the way through and get.
But his style of music has changed a lot, bro.
But he had his very first song opening it, and I think maybe the second song after gave me kind of a stony vibe, but then a couple of the ones after were. It went back to more of that poppy type of sound.
Yeah, he's definitely changed directions, and you can tell like that probably happened after he signed the record deal because if you look at songs before, even if you want to go before Congratulations, you have songs like Tears, you know, that was like on SoundCloud. You have Too Young, you got White Iverson, you got, you know, those songs that nobody to me was making that kind of music. That was an original kind of sound, and I feel like Congratulations was the hit it was. Diamond now actually.
Oh wow.
And he was like, all right, this is what it has to be now. And you will still find sprinkles of his ocean like you said. But
I feel like I don't even like personally I don't really, I didn't like Too Young. I never did. White Iverson was good for a little bit, but it kinda got old to me. And I just thought Stoney was a freaking, the ones I liked off there were really good. And then,
that was his debut album, right? His debut studio album.
Mm-hmm. And then Beer Bongs.
That was a letdown for me, but there were songs like Rich and Sad was like a really good song.
Rich and Sad is really good. I liked the one with Sway Lee for a little bit, but it got really annoying.
I did the one with G-Eazy and YG for a little bit too.
Yeah, same, but it got annoying as well. I just felt like that.
Rockstar, huge for him as well.
I felt like that album was too, he tried to follow a formula.
And I also feel like he almost tried to find a new fan base with that album. His fan base is very small whenever he dropped Stoney. And I feel like he tried to expand his horizons and make more people want to listen to him.
But that's what made Stoney good, is he kind of stayed true to like...
Yeah, that's what makes albums good. Whenever, like Cole says on, False Prophets, he's like, I have a homie, he a rapper, and he want to win bad, you know, blah, blah. And he's like, but you gotta write what's in your soul, don't give a fuck who's fucking with it. And that's what makes a song, or even a whole album good. Whenever you drop what you want to drop, the order you want it to play in, blah, 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 you know what I mean? You really own what you want to do, and obviously, if you're tied by your fucking ball stack from a record label, you can't do that. But
and then that's really the dilemma. Like I guess that really needs to change, just the whole process, because they're not really listening to what people really like, and they're trying to dumb people down and kind of like, I guess, broaden the audience, but by doing that, like,
you lose the fans that really want to listen to your original.
You lose touch with people.
Yeah.
You lose touch. I think that's what it is. Where it's like, people love you for what you do.
They worship you almost, honestly.
That's what I like. I like False Prophets.
That's almost like, even like Womati, even like to me, like even on the episode we dropped prior to this, or prior, talking about how Kanye, like, his work with Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, compared to like the Life of Pablo, like, you know, the two different sounds, and I guess in a way I feel like lately he's been dropping what he wants to, but nobody else really gives a fuck. I mean, people just dick ride him, but that's a whole different. We already kind of touched on that, but yeah, whenever an artist definitely drops what he wants to drop or writes what he wants to write and everything like that, even whenever music videos tie in really good to songs, that helps a lot. Like a lot.
I think also like. The thing too is like staying true to yourself and also trying too hard is a different thing than like being told what to do from like a label, because I think that's the Kanye thing, where he tries, I think he's just overextending himself trying to find something artistic and be that
trying
artist.
To once again be the guy that has a new sound, put it that way.
Yeah, just he's trying too hard to create art rather than, for example, like how we talked about Tyler the Creator on the first episode. Yeah, it was the first one we talked about him. That I feel like he's not really trying to be really artistic. It's just coming across like that. I feel like he's being different, but I don't.
It's being different, but it's very similar at the same time, because not that you can't find artists that don't. You can find artists that sounds just like. In reality, I feel like some of the songs he makes, they're not music. They're kind of just noises that. It's almost like steel drums or jazz. They're kind of just noises being thrown at you. Like honestly, I think that whole Igor album, like take Playboi Carti's verse out of Earthquake or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Earth.
What song is that? You saying you hit my Earthquake 80,000 times and then the beat ends? You know what I'm saying? Like
I think it's like a very hippie dippy type
it's
of
just
genre.
it's people. It's almost like for me, like certain people listen to Kodak to have like a hood vibe. I feel like not the same people, but people might listen to Tyler Creator just try to be different or try to be, you know.
I think it's like a hippie thing, not hippie, but artsy, kind of like a hipster.
There you go.
Hipster. Yeah.
There you go. That sounds right.
And that's kind of how his clothing line is too. But he could actually rap too. That's what I really don't like is that I don't know. I guess I because I like rap. I like it when people who can actually rap. Like, did you see his? Yeah, and did you see his freestyle on Flex?
No, I didn't.
Dude, that shit had me.
Flex, right?
He was flirting with Flex the whole time. That shit had me dying.
Bro, I seen whenever A$AP Rocky was locked up in where was it, Sweden?
Yeah.
And it was like a clip from I don't even know what the fuck the movie is, but it's Will Ferrell and it's like a black bitch twerking in front of him, where the prisoner's talking on the phone over the glass, and it's a black bitch twerking, and he's like right, and I seen somebody quoted it, and it's like Tyler the Creator distracting the guards so A$AP Rocky can be free because obviously they be butt fucking, so there's no fucking secrets about that. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
you fuck with Lil Nas X and shit. I don't know.
I thought he had a solid project, to be honest with you.
If you take it for what it is, it's solid. If you're trying to look for something that it like,
it's just kind of like the Post Malone sound. Like,
the
it's
thing
kid
is,
friendly
he'll
too.
never ever make another song like. If people liked him for Old Town Road, I'm sorry, but none of his music sounds like that. Like that's just like, it's not like he got bored in the studio one day.
But I feel like he'll have a successful career because it's just simple.
I think he's an industry fan from the jump, and I think no matter what, radio is always going to push him. No matter what, he's going to be all over your timeline. Why? Because listen to how, or just even look at how like Twitter friendly he is, or like how interactive he is.
Yeah.
And you really think artists that are already that big really want to be fucking with people on Twitter? No, but I bet you his label has him by his fucking throat. Like, this is the kind of guy you have to be on fucking Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it could be that, but also like if you think about it, the difference between like someone like IDK and Lil Nas X is like someone who gets a lot of push and is an industry plant versus someone who's not. So I think when we talk about like industry plants, I think there's like a level to it where maybe you could say, and I'm not saying Post Malone's an industry plant, but now he gets heavy push from label.
from everything, bro.
Travis Scott.
He's on fucking Jimmy Fallon. Like, they're shoving him down your throat.
Same thing with Travis. Same thing. I wouldn't say he's an industry
For a
plant,
while,
but
Drake
now it's
was
like
even getting shoved down people's throats.
Drake. Same thing. So it's like you could kind of consider that an industry plant. Maybe not that they put them in that position, but now the push that they get from that label is
it's either the deals are massive or it's just like, listen, this is what you have to do if you want him. Because I feel like for me, I don't think Lil Nas X is solidified at all.
No, he's not.
His career can end tomorrow, and people might be bumping his music just to be like, yo, remember this? And that's it. There's no significance to me. There's no original sound to it. There's no... Because even like that Old Town Road sound, what's that one guy that has his face tattooed that had made their country song before him?
Lil Tracy.
Lil Tracy, like... And even Young Thug made that little country sounding song before. So you can't say that Lil Nas X made up that sound, because he didn't. You know what I'm saying? And even songs like Panini or whatever the fuck it's called, or Rodeo with Cardi B, like... They just sound very, very like... They sound like if there's a new genre that's like you take Adam Levine and mix it with Travis Scott and you make a human being.
Something like that. That's actually really good.
And that's pretty much what some of these guys are. It's like,
but I think
Adam Levine and Travis Scott had a baby.
I think that's gonna make him successful, and I don't.
No, I'm saying that's what it is. That's as of right now, he's not solidified in any genre. Because no rappers are gonna fuck with him. No rap fans are gonna fuck with him. Maybe even pop fans are gonna fuck with him. But maybe give him 3 or 4 more studio albums and see what he brings then.
Nah, pop fans are gonna fuck with him because we're also not his target audience. I feel like his target audience are like people like Eastside age.
Yeah, younger white kids, I think.
Yeah, like.
Or even rich black kids, because
just
if
suburban
we're being
kids.
honest, anybody that's considered under middle class isn't gonna fuck with Lil Nas X. They're kind of fuck with YF and Lucci and YG and shit like that because something they can more relate to, or you know what I'm saying. And I find a lot of times too, we listen to music that we can relate to, something more relatable. It's more enjoyable to even listen to.
Also, even like, I think I might have seen this on Twitter, but it was basically like someone put, "Oh, my dad asked me why I listen to like trap music, like hood music, if I don't live that lifestyle." And then he was like, "Oh, well, why do you? Why?" And at the same time, he was watching like Aliens versus Predators, and he's like, "Oh, well, why are you watching a movie about killing aliens if you don't live that lifestyle?"
It's just
so it's just it's also people who don't.
That's true.
You know, there's people who listen to Kodak. A lot of people listen to Kodak that have never lived in any type of, or even been.
And just because you sell weed and you live at your parents' house doesn't mean that you're in that kind of position, dude. Like, there's people that literally have to sell drugs and probably like whenever say they probably had to suck people's dick just to fucking live to see the next fucking day. Because you live with your fucking parents and you sell a little bit of weed does not make you a fucking trapper. Does not mean that you live that lifestyle. No, you fucking don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? And another thing, going back to Lil Nas X, I think what's also gonna help him a lot is the fact that he's fucking gay. Like, the fact that he's gay, he's gonna because if God forbid you don't like Lil Nas X and now you're homophobic.
Yeah, outrage culture.
So I mean, now it's like you have to like Lil Nas X. Even if you don't, you have to, or at least pretend you do. Because if not, you're homophobic.
You just can't hate on him.
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to if he's a straight man, you can criticize him all you want.
Yeah.
But whenever somebody's gay, criticizing turns to homophobia or whatever the fuck. So.
Yeah, but that's a lot of, that's just victim mentality. A lot of outrage culture, shit like that.
And actually, yesterday I was thinking about this. I was thinking about the Kanye or the Drake episode. Kanye-Drake episode.
Not even only Kanye episode, really.
I was watching my dad's truck and like I don't know why I was thinking about this, but I remember whenever you said that, whenever Kanye always goes to people's throats, but you can never go for his because he always uses the mental illness as a shield. And I don't know why I was thinking about this. I was like, people that are honestly, and I know there's a small percentage who is the opposite, but most of the time, people who honestly suffer from mental illnesses or have, they're just fucked up in the head. Or people that are depressed, nobody's gonna a really depressed person isn't gonna tell you he's depressed. Mm-hmm. A person that really has really bad mental illness is never gonna tell you. Why? Because they don't want to bring that pressure on you. They don't want to be they don't want to be the bad guy. They want to be the guy who brings joy and light or whatever the fuck. So in reality, if Kanye West really had the type of mental illnesses and bipolar illness that he had, why the fuck would he even say anything about it? He just fucking caught himself in his fucking bathroom and who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he'd make it this big old thing. If it's really that serious, he's gonna be like, I can't just fucking say I'm Kanye West. I'm this hard dude that used to live in Chicago and now was living in the hills.
I think, yeah, he was never a hard dude either.
Like I don't think he has mental illness, or even if he does, he was never gonna say he did it because very few people that have those things, very few people that actually have issues in life ever say they do.
But
ever.
Some people will say that they
that's
do.
why I said there was a small percentage.
Yeah, but I think even let's just say he does have
bipolarism or whatever.
Yeah, if he,
but then
whatever
mental.
But let's just say he does. It's one thing to like have and say you do, and it's another thing to like attack someone, but then nobody can attack you because of that.
Yeah, you can't use that as
you can't use it as your shield.
It's like, dude, if you want to hit, you better be able to take a hit back. You can't just be like, I'm gonna stick you, and no, you better not stick me back. Like,
yeah, and that's why a lot of people, like, for example, I say this to lots of my friends too, where it's like, we'll talk about high school and shit like that, and a lot of my friends would fuck around, give each other necks, shit like that. I don't play like that. I never did because I know I'll get pissed off. Like, even if they're my friends, like, I would get mad. And so, because I don't want that shit to happen to me, I'm not going to do it. So, y'all can play around like that.
And vice versa, like in middle school, even in high school, like in the gym locker room, the people would start acting gay and shit. Like, I'm not going to fuck around and try to grab your dick because I know for a fucking fact I don't want you fucking around trying to grab my dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's the same thing. Like,
I can't just be like, boom, I'm going to grab your dick, and then be like, don't fucking grab my dick. When I like,
yeah.
If you hit, you're ready to get hit back.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it is too. So that's
like literally everything in life has a fucking consequence to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally consequences to everything. Whether it can be as simple as you slap somebody, and somebody might think you deserve a slap back, or maybe that's what you think. You know what? If I get a slap back, fuck it, I get.
I'll take it. Yeah.
But there's some people that think, oh, you slap me, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'll pop you.
And like I had this conversation with my dad a while back. Like, as crazy as it might sound, anything you do in life, you have to realize that a consequence can be death. And if you're not ready to die, or if you're not ready to have to take somebody's life, don't fuck around and do something that you think you can't handle. You know what I'm saying? If you honestly think, whatever, if I get fucking shot a couple times, or if I die, or if I have to kill somebody, I'm okay with it, then you do whatever the fuck you need to do. But if you're mentally not ready to fucking die, or if you're mentally not ready to fucking kill somebody or whatever, that's just not what the person you are, who you want to be, blah, blah, blah. Don't fuck with people. Don't be the guy that's trying to go the extra mile to do this, or just go with the fucking flow. Never try to just roll the opposite way, and never try to do something that's gonna, affect somebody a certain way, or not just.
And I think that's a big thing with like conflict in general, where let's say you get in a fight with someone.
Yeah, and honestly, conflicts you can't avoid it. Shit happens,
and it's. I think where things escalate is when you really, really, really either like obviously hurt a loved one, or if it's like me doing something to you, if I really hurt your ego that much to where
I feel the need to do something towards you.
And that's the problem with ego too, and people don't realize that like everybody has an ego. No one wants their ego to hurt because obviously it sucks.
It's your character. It's
So. And
even going back to like family and that, like you can have a family member, a cousin, or whatever, right, uncle, whatever, that you might not even talk to like that. You guys aren't even close. But at the end of the day, family's family. It doesn't matter who or what, or somebody says something that's gonna disrespect your family in a certain way. It might not hurt you, but it's gonna affect you. Family's family at the end of the day. Whether you talk to them, whether you like them, whether you hate them, family's family. You know what I'm saying? And
it's also like, let's say a family member, for example, let's say I'm dating someone, right? And I might be able to be like, hey, like so-and-so in my family, like kind of complain, let's just say about my mom. That's one thing if I express those things to you, but like it's not cool for you to say that shit about my mom.
Yeah, I could be like, your mom was a bitch today, but God forbid, like you can't be like, was your mom a bitch? Like you can't ask.
Or be like, yo, like, why should be a bitch?
Like, yeah,
exactly. Like, don't disrespect. Like,
if I'm mad and I just start blurting shit out, like that's on me. Let me handle that. But you can't just come at me disrespecting my family like that. Like,
and you got to be conscious of that shit too, no matter what you think. Because sometimes, like, if someone tells you, like, a friend tells you whatever about like a sibling or their dad or whatever it is, and you might, and a lot of times like what people express to other people is mainly negative. A lot of times because we like to vent things out.
Right. Or even oftentimes like, hey, no offense, but this, and it's something totally fucking offensive.
Yeah, but you might, let's say you tell a friend a bunch of negative things about your brother, and you're not gonna, and you might have your opinion on the person's brother, and it might be negative because you're getting all this negative stuff, but you should have the respect for that person to be like, yo, like, this is this person's family member. I'm not gonna
jump in here and
say your brother's exactly. So, and that's just an example, but some people feel close enough to where they can say whatever about your family member. It's like, no, like, you can't. That's not cool. That's
you guys going back to just consequences. Everybody reacts to everything differently, bro. Very few people on this earth think the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that are pro, death penalty. People that are anti-death penalty. People that are pro-abortion. Very few people. You can agree on a broad subject, but once you get into the things that hold that subject together, that's when you can start disagreeing on things. And very few people honestly agree to a big picture, and the things that fill that big picture up, very few people agree on everything. And the same, very few people agree on anything. Very few people react to things the same way. You just can't blurt things. You just can't say things. You really have to think before you start opening your mouth. And even me, there's a lot of times where I don't think before I open my mouth, and I realize it later, like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. Whatever the case may be. But I think no matter, you should always be prepared for anything, and or even be the bigger man. Like today in class, I was fucking with some. He's an older guy in the class. He's real cool with me though. I was fucking with him, and you can tell about like something that I said. I'm like kind of like he was like fuck, like, you know, he was just like he got kind of pissed about it. I didn't try to fix the part right there. Like in class, I wasn't like, hey man, chill. So I went to the bathroom. He was walking out. I was like, yo, whenever I said it in there, if it like offended y'all, I was like, I was just fucking with you. I didn't really mean anything. He's like, no, you're cool. And like a lot of times, that's the way you have to be the bigger man to. Yeah. Just because you don't apologize to somebody publicly doesn't mean you don't mean it.
And a lot of the times, like a genuine one-on-one thing is, or a one-on-one apology like that is a lot more genuine
than just in front of everybody. Be like, yo, my bad. Like yeah, you're bad only because you're around all these people. You know what I'm saying? There's like another older guy in the class that everybody hates, but that's just because he just puts his shit on his own. But this other older guy, he's real cool with everybody in the class, and like you get told, like the thing that I said, I'm kind of like damn, like, and I didn't want to be in the middle of the class. Nah, you're not playing with you. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna let him simmer on it. I'm gonna let his anger go down, or whatever he felt with the rest. I'm just let that go down. I'm gonna relax too. I don't want to. Yeah. That's how I see you out. We'll get right. That's that. Yeah. And I was like, how you fucking handled it,
and that's the best way to handle it, honestly.
Like. People say like, oh, you're not supposed to hold grudges, and you're really not. But if people hold grudges and there's something you can really do about it, the way you feel on a certain day, you might feel different the next day. But you're supposed to just be a man about your shit, or if you're a woman, whatever y'all call it, be a woman about your shit.
It's just own
up to it.
Own up to whatever you do, and
sometimes realize you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard for us to do that, like for everyone to really admit to their faults. A lot of the times what we tend to do is blame other people for things.
Or make excuses for something you did.
Yeah, make excuses for yourself and just justify. Sometimes you're just blatantly wrong, and sometimes you might think something's right, but like it could be really wrong. And you know, it's also a thing too where, you know, I kind of, not that I got into it with this dude from work, but from work there's this guy, and he, like, at the position I was working at the time, I was busting my ass, just boom, boom, boom. So I'll take care of, like, heavy boxes, big boxes, I'm taking care of them, because I know everybody I work with pretty much is a lazy piece of. Mm-hmm. So there was a bunch of small, like, bags, so I just throw them everywhere so that everybody gets a little bit of bags, and I'm throwing the big boxes, so it's no big deal. You know what I mean? I'm going to help out whoever's next to me and get their big stuff because I know they suck. So I threw the bags everywhere, and this dude next to me, he's like, yo, like, don't give me that. Don't throw your fucking work at me. Like, you do them yourself. And I'm like, dude, I'm getting your heavy and big boxes, bro. Like, but whatever. That cursed me. I just left him alone. I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm not going to pay him any mind. But he came up to me afterwards, and he's like, yo, you know, I apologize for like raising my voice to you and cursing at you, but I meant what I said. I just told him, I'm like, that's fine. Like, I didn't take it like in a hard way, but you also gotta understand that I'm doing most of the work for everybody, and if I'm picking up a lot of people's weight on boxes, I think everybody could be able to take a little bit of envelopes and bags. He was like, yeah, I know you're doing your work, but the other people next to me, that he doesn't want to pick up their work. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, but for him to come up to me like
that's stupid though. Like in a workplace, you're gonna have to pick up slack, whether you want to or not, whether it's the right thing or not, whether even you're doing something that's totally out of your job, like I might fucking scrubbing these floors or whatever you want to do, right? But is not scrubbing them floors for 30 minutes, or is not bagging that customer's bag for 5 minutes, is that worth burning a bridge? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Cuss out that person in your head, blah blah. Is it really worth burning a bridge that you can use later in life? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things just aren't worth it. They're just not worth it. And
a lot of times it's relationships too. Just like, and it's a good place to end it.
Yeah. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, tell a friend about the channel, and yeah.
Let us know what you want to hear.